I'm David Fink, PPI President, and today is our next installment of Getting to Know Your PPI Staff. With me here today is Sarah Patterson, our Hydrostatic Stress Board or better known as HSB Chair. So Sarah, give us a little bit about your background and education if you don't mind.
So for my education, I'm a graduate of Kansas State University. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Chemical Engineering.
And how about prior work experience prior to joining PPI?
So prior to PPI, I started off at Dow Chemical down at their Freeport, Texas site, and I worked my way through process research. It's their market development facility where I was making epoxy resins.
Okay.
And then I worked my way back through the manufacturing chain, so I had a responsibility for things that were related along the chain. So butylene oxide, synthetic glycerin, allyl chloride, and then from there, after about 6.5 years out in manufacturing, then I transitioned into technical service and development in the polyethylene pipe group.
So a little bit of pipe experience, which probably led to you being a candidate then to come on to PPI. So when did you join PPI?
So I joined PPI in July of 2013. And my background is a bit unique. So half of my job role at Dow and TS&D was pressure pipe applications.
Okay.
But then the other half of my job role included related applications or applications with similar attributes. So there was steel pipe coating, microirrigation, geomembranes, things along that line. And that was good because then when I walked into the role of PPI Technical Director, dual role with the HSB Chair, those manufacturing processes, knowledges of those manufacturing processes came in quite handy.
And after a few years, we transitioned you into just being the HSB Chair, around late 2021?
I believe it was October 2019 is when Patrick was hired, and then about a year of onboarding, so I think it was 100% fully HSB starting in about January of 2021. Yep.
Okay. So the general public may not know much about the HSB. Can you give an overview of your role within the HSB and just some of the benefits and challenges that the HSB brings to the industry?
So, I mean, that's a great question, is who is the HSB? So the HSB has been around since the late 1950s, early 1960s. And a small group of plastics experts got together at one point and decided that in terms of thermoplastic pipe systems to move over into pressure pipe applications. And when they did that, they needed to develop the methodologies to demonstrate thermoplastics and pressure pipe applications over long periods of time. So that was the HSB. So back then they were known as the Working Stress Subcommittee.
Okay.
And then since the late 1950s, they've been focusing on the exact same thing, long-term strength, demonstration of it in terms of the HSB policies, the methodologies, providing input on hydrostatic design stress, design factors out in the industry. And so the group is a group of volunteers, experts, in their respective fields and the materials. And even though that they're coming from different parts of the industry, different materials, different ingredients, when they were working on HSB items, the group does just a fabulous job of working together and working on behalf of the industry.
So maybe a little bit further on that, what types of materials really are covered? I think our general audience maybe not know that this is a holistic plastics overview, right? This isn't just one material over another. So you're looking at all the different plastic materials, correct?
You are correct. It started with PVC. It was one of the first plastics that got brought into pressure pipe applications. Then polyethylene followed. And then in about the mid-1960s, CPVC achieved their first listings with the HSB. And since then, it's also included, polypropylene, PEX, polyamide, the various forms of composite pipes. Then underneath tier 2, which is the range compositions, then you'll see 8 ingredients that are key in manufacturing PVC 1120 pipe. And the range composition that was introduced much later, that was introduced in 1985.
Okay. So rather complex group. Again, you said you've got some great volunteers that make up the industry. Anything that you want to share any further on the HSB or its workings?
Well, I think if there's any questions out there in the industry, I think one of the items I'd like to clarify is that when it comes to the HSB projects, their work, the policies, it really is an effort to work on behalf of the industry as a whole. And I do believe the members do well in achieving that for the industry.
Well, there you have it. Sarah Patterson, our chair of the Hydrostatic Stress Board. Thank you for joining us for getting to know your PPI staff.